because I have Coach Heather with me today. Y'all, tea time with Heather and Jade. What is your favorite tea? We are going to be chatting it out and sharing with y'all what we chat about on a daily basis. And oh my gosh, Heather, I just looked back at my custom program. Wow. It's
I know.
see.
I think sometimes people, I do have my tea here, but I didn't want to turn it around because I got my hot pink lipstick all over it. Anyway, I think sometimes people think that the custom program is like a flash in the pan. And to me, investing in it meant investing in my future and a life of never gaining the weight back. So I look at mine all the time too, and it's greasy and it's got butter stains on it and it has notes because back in the day, the only code red coaching option I had, there was no accountability, there was no book, there was no nothing but the boss.
Yep.
Christy was my coach. So I have all sorts of funny notes in there and things that she told me to do.
Yeah, I look at mine all the time as well. And when we went through, there was no other option, y'all. And we didn't have challenges all the time. But oh my gosh, the investment, I would pay it 100 times over. It is the best investment I have ever spent because it took all the guesswork out. And y'all, I thought I was throwing away a massive amount of money. Like, did you feel that way, Heather? Did you feel like, I probably am throwing this away?
Well, I was at, I was just going to say death's door, but I don't want to sound that dramatic, but I was at my wit's end. Okay. Let's just put it that way. And it had just been, y'all know, who have been around for a long time. It was a really expensive week in my house. My minivan engine blew and I had just paid it off. And then the water heater downstairs went and flooded the garage. And then it was little old me. Well, not big old me, over 200 pounds. That was like, excuse me, I want to hire this Mohawk lady in Idaho and I need the money. And my husband was like, no, this is ridiculous. You just keep going with the rules. And like you mentioned, we didn't have monthly challenges. You didn't know when they were going to come and you were lucky if they came 3 times a year. And I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. So it was a big investment. And I think having skin in the game was really what kept me true to the program. That was a big amount of money for me to spend and I wasn't going to mess it up this time.
100%. Oh, me too. So if you haven't heard my story, I have severe psoriatic arthritis and it had taken over my entire body. I wasn't able to walk upstairs. I wasn't able to hold a hairbrush to brush my daughter's hair, yada, yada, yada. And I was literally on death's door. Like the doctors had said that it's only going to get worse from here. And by the way, here's the paperwork for home health and a wheelchair. And so I was determined that, okay, if I couldn't control that, well, by golly, I can control my weight. And I was right at 200 pounds as well. And on a 4'11" body, that's a lot of weight. And so I jumped in, really didn't think that I was making a great investment. However, y'all, 80 pounds in 5 months, but that's not the best part. It completely healed my crippling psoriatic arthritis. I was pain-free and medication-free in 25 days because of my custom program, because I was following that plan to a T that was optimal for me. Because I really didn't realize when I was getting into this that a custom program is truly that. It's custom. And every single person's calories and all of the numbers and all of your plan is completely different from another person. Just because you're also 4'11" doesn't mean that your plan is going to be like mine. And I still use it weekly. Like it's a tool that you have forever.
Well, yeah, I think that people, they just think it's 3 months and it's done. Well, Jade and I, just because we lost our weight, I mean, it took me 4.5 months with the 45-day challenge, because that's how long they were back then, to lose 70 pounds. But the reason why we look like this and we are still thriving is because we do rely on those numbers. And I think that Cassie, former coach Cassie, who now is on the executive team at Code Red, said a long time ago, this is like an insurance policy, a life insurance policy. And if you take the price of the custom program and you divide it out amongst how many more days you want to have on Earth, it really is like a no-brainer. And for someone, you know, I was looking down total knee replacement on my good knee. Y'all know I'm an amputee. My legs didn't fit, so I ended up having to get new legs made. But Jade was paying out the wazoo for medication. The amount of money we saved on that type of stuff. And then what blows my mind is the grocery bill. Within 4 months of not buying crap junk and impulse buys at the grocery store, I had saved the amount that I paid for my custom program.
Absolutely. Y'all, I mean, you're going to either pay now or pay later. And one of the things, I was always trying something to lose weight. And those monthly subscriptions of $150 to $500 a month, those quickly add up. And I was real proud of my 3 pounds in 9 months with those weight loss plans as well. And so with our family, I mean, just like Heather said, within at 4 or 5 months, we had completely repaid that plus some just in our grocery bill alone. And that's not like taking anything out. That's just not going through McDonald's or Taco Bell.
And that's so true. Let's not even mention that. Don't even get me started.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, y'all, those little purchases add up, and they add up quickly, which is so could so pay for your custom program time and time again. One thing, you know, as a single income military family, we really struggled with money. I mean, there's not much money for active duty military. And so, you know, we had to make some adjustments to actually make this happen, to get that custom program. So think outside the box. What could you sell on Facebook? Y'all, Facebook Marketplace is the place to sell all the things. I just sold a couch the other night that had been sitting in my basement with no one sitting on it for the last 6 months. So think outside the box. I know that a lot of people get like personal loans and the HSA. What other types of things have you come in contact with, Heather, that people have done? I know that, I mean, there's so many.
Well, I always like, I can never remember her name, but this lady posted this like entire pantry full of stuff, diet stuff that she had didn't finish, didn't eat, all the bars, the shakes, the pills. And she posted it on like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. And she made enough for like 3 custom programs. So she bought her custom program, and then she had enough money for accountability for I don't even know how long. And so I think she felt a little bit badly that she was pawning that stuff off on someone else. But I kid you not, it was like when she couldn't believe the honey pot she found in her pantry. And I couldn't believe it either. It was so much stuff. So I think that you know, that there are different ways. I also, I wanted to ask you, Jade, because people, you know, they look up to us as coaches and they think, oh, well, those are the ones who had it all figured out and did it right, and I'll never be like that. Tell me about what was the most difficult thing once you had your custom program? Maybe it was in the beginning, the middle, the end. What was hardest for you? Because I think people want to hear that from us. They see us, they see that we're little, you know, we're 2 of the shortest ones. And they're always like, you're so tiny, you 2. But we weren't so tiny, and we were way overweight and way miserable. So what was hardest for you?
Oh my gosh. You know, you brought up such a great point. Y'all, we are real. We really did this. We really were very, very, very overweight. We were really sick, really in a mess, just like a lot of you. We get it. We get it to the root of our souls, y'all. And that's why our passion is so strong to help y'all conquer this weight loss and live your best lives. But my biggest struggle was not eating dinner around the dinner table with my family. Y'all, as a Southern girl, the dinner table is important. Like, that's more important than having clean underwear. Like, you sit down at the dinner table and you eat dinner with your family and you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And that's just how I was raised. That's how I have raised my family. And, that is a time that I hold so special for my family. And because I have 4 kids that are in all the things, we weren't able to actually sit down together until like 7 o'clock at night. And if you've done Code Red for more than a second, that one of our main rules is that we don't eat that late. And I fought it. I butted heads with Carrie, and Carrie's like, Jade, if you want this weight off, you have got to eat earlier. And so I gave in and I grabbed a cup of tea. And the first couple nights, they were awkward. I felt awkward. The kids were like, Mom, why are you not eating? But I just explained to them that, I've already eaten my supper earlier. And so very quickly, they started asking, Mom, what did you have for your dinner? And didn't expect for me to eat because we had shifted things. And so we do still hold mealtime a very special time in our house. But John and I are sitting there with our tea while the kids are eating. And y'all, how much more conversation comes from that dinner table is astronomical. So what's something that was the hardest for you, Heather?
Well, the sleep was the hardest for me. And I think that stemmed from my accident way back in 1991 and being in such pain and having so many surgeries and being so unrestful for so many years. And then it just became a habit. And I was just basically an insomniac. And so we realized fairly quickly that it was going to take I think Carrie referred to it as like quite a cocktail of stuff to get Heather to sleep. But now it's so precious because I know when I don't sleep, I'm miserable. And it's usually when I'm traveling, believe it or not, travel has gotten really hard. The older you get, oh boy, the older you get, travel just really beats you down. But the sleep for me was the hardest. I guarded mealtime the same as you, but as the more and more overweight I became and the more and more miserable I became, I actually would serve everyone and stand in the kitchen and eat the leftovers. And I had already been eating it along as I had been cooking it. And then as the plates came back into the kitchen, if anyone hadn't eaten it, I was eating it. I mean, it was really this vicious cycle that I was in. I was so unrestful even when I was awake and just so nervous about all of it that I just consumed constantly. And so for me, the cup of tea helped combat that. And I actually just had a family this week. You and I, we preach it to our families all the time because we know how important that is for some folks. And they actually moved their dinner time up. And instead of desserts or nighttime snacks, they all sit at the table now with a cup of tea. The whole family. So they eat dinner early. It cuts out snack time after school and mostly eat before kids' activities. And then later at night when they all convene back, they have tea instead of dessert or snacks or sandwiches. Y'all know what I'm talking about because I know.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I did it. You do it. And what the good news is that when you quit doing it, things really turn around and you can quit doing it because Jade and I are proof of that. But I think the sleep was definitely the hardest issue for me because I was just oblivious to it. And I didn't realize how integral that is into weight loss.
Oh, for sure. If I don't get my sleep, and I mean, There's definitely nights that I don't. I didn't have a terrible problem, but there are some nights that I am just not restful. And boy, does the scale show it in the morning. And I'm like starving all the next day. Like I am ready to eat my arm. And I'm like, what is going on? And it's because I didn't get my sleep. So, y'all, sleep is also so incredibly important. But above all, having a your custom program and having your custom program and having those exact numbers and that exact plan and a coach to coach you through that, y'all, that is where it's at.
Yeah, I think so. So, we would be happy to take your questions or concerns. Just post below. If you're interested in coaching with us, we would love nothing more than to help you. It's just coderedlifestyle.com, either /Heather or /Jade. Our names are really easy to spell. And we would just, we have fallen into something that we love. And I think that it shows. And we would love to help you in the next step of your journey. So let us know your questions, right, Jade?
Absolutely. Yes. Please let us know your questions. We are here to help you. This is our life's passion. This is our full-time job, y'all. This is what we wake up to every single morning and burn the midnight oil because we love it. We absolutely love it. And we would love to help you succeed at this. So hop over to those websites and let us know if you have any questions.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. We're going to enjoy the rest of our tea.